Hello, this is Mrs. Boots, and we're going to do our practice problems for long division. Remember, long division is the method that always works. I can always use it on any polynomial. Number 1. The first step is to write our division problem with the division symbols. The x plus 7 comes after the division symbol. That is my divisor. It goes outside my division. The x squared plus x minus 42 comes first. That goes inside. Now, what multiplies to get me x squared? Specifically, what do I multiply by x to get x squared? We multiply by x. Remember, we distribute that to both terms. So I have x squared plus 7x. Draw the line, change your signs, both of them. Now, x squared minus x squared is 0. That's good. We want it to cancel. X minus 7x is negative 6x. Remember to drop down your next term. You need the same number of terms here that's in your divisor. What do we multiply x by to get a negative 6x? Minus 6. Again, distribute. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. Negative 6 times 7 is negative 42. Draw your line, change your signs. Plus, plus. Now, negative 6x plus 6x is 0. Negative 42 plus 42 is 0. So my remainder is 0. That means this is a factor. That's what it tells us. What is my quotient? My quotient is what was on top. X minus 6. Number 2. I'm dividing x to the 4th minus 3x cubed minus 7x minus 14 by x plus 2. So the x plus 2 goes on the outside of my division. On the inside, I have the wonderful polynomial. I notice that there's an x squared missing. So I'm going to put a 0x squared placeholder. Remember, the difference between 1,000 and 100 is a 0. We don't want to lose that 0. Now, what do I multiply x by to get x to the 4th? That would be x cubed. We still distribute to both terms in the binomial out front. That would give me x to the 4th. X cubed times 2 would be plus 2x cubed. Draw the line, change both signs. Negative, negative. Now add. X to the 4th minus x to the 4th goes away. Good. Negative 3x cubed minus 2x cubed is negative 5x cubed. Bring down the next term. It doesn't matter if it's a 0, just bring it down. Now, what do I multiply x by to get negative 5x cubed? That would be minus 5x squared. Again, distribute that. So I would have negative 5x cubed minus 10x squared. Draw your line, change both signs. Plus, plus. Now add. Negative 5x cubed plus 5x cubed cancels like it's supposed to. 0 plus 10x squared is 10x squared. Drop down the next term. Minus 7x. Now what do I multiply by x to get me 10x squared? Plus 10x. Again, distribute. 10x times x is 10x squared. 10x times 2 plus 20x. Draw your line, change both signs. Negative, negative. My 10x squareds cancel. Minus 7x and minus 20x gives me negative 27x. Drop down the next term. minus 14. Now, what multiplies? What do I multiply x by to get me negative 27x? Well, that's going to be negative 27. Okay, so negative 27 times x is negative 27x. Negative 27 times 2, that would be negative 54. All right, so draw your line, change your signs. My 27x's cancel. Positive 54 minus 14 gives me 40. 40 is my remainder. So my solution, or my quotient, is x cubed minus 5x squared plus 10x minus 27 plus the remainder of 40 divided by x plus 2. Is this one a factor? No, this is not a factor. Because of the remainder, it has to be 0 to be a factor. Number 3. The 3x minus 5 is the divisor. It comes after the division symbol and will go out front, in front of my division sign. Now, the 6x squared minus 7x minus 5 goes underneath. What do we multiply 3x by to get 6x squared? That would be 2x. Remember to distribute to both terms. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. Draw the line, change both signs. Negative, positive. Now we add. 6x squared minus 6x squared is 0. Good. Negative 7x plus 10x gives me 3x. Drop down the next term. Now what do I multiply 3x by to get 3x? Plus 1. Again, distribute. 3x minus 5. Draw the line, change both signs. Negative, positive. 3x minus 3x is 0, and negative 5 plus 5 is 0. This means it's a factor. What's a factor? The 2x plus 1. My quotient is a factor of the equation 6x squared minus 7x plus 5. Number 4. There's more than one way to work this problem. That's because we're dividing by a monomial. I'm going to show you the long division method, and then I will show you a simpler method that will work as well. There is no x to the fourth term, so we would put a 0x to the fourth. Now, what multiplies by 2x cubed to give me 2x to the 6? X cubed. Multiply the x cubed by the term and write it down. 2x to the 6. Draw your line, change the sign. Drop the next term down, because they completely cancel. Negative 4x to the 5th. Now, what would you multiply 2x cubed by to get negative 4x to the 5th? Negative 2x squared. Multiply it across, we get negative 4x to the 5th. Draw your line, change your sign, drop the next term down. The next term is a 0, and I can't divide into 0 unless I add a 0. That's kind of pointless. So we're going to go ahead and drop down the 7x cubed. This is where it gets crazy. What do I multiply by to get a 7 when I've got a 2? Okay, so I have to get rid of the 2 and multiply by 7. I know it's going to be negative. I know I'm going to multiply by 7. To get rid of the 2, I'm dividing by 2. Are you following me yet? So 7 over 2 times 2x cubed. The 2's cancel, and I'm left with negative 7x cubed. Pretty neat. Yes, I know it's a fraction. Draw your line, change the sign. The two numbers now cancel, and you've got a 0 remainder. So my quotient would be x cubed minus 2x squared minus 7/2. Let's write that out without the 0. X cubed minus 2x squared minus 7/2. Now let me show you a simpler way to do the same exact problem. So this is the simple method for number 4. We're dividing by a monomial. That means I can divide each individual term by that monomial to find the quotient. Things will cancel out. So let's look. The 2's cancel. X to the 6 divided by x cubed is x cubed. 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. X to the 5th and x cubed gives me x squared. In the last term, my x cubes cancel, and I'm left with minus 7/2. Notice you get the exact same answer either way. This only works because we had a monomial. Number 5. 2x plus 2 is my binomial that I'm dividing by. That's my divisor. 2x squared plus 10x plus 8 goes underneath the division symbol. So what do I multiply 2x by to get 2x squared? We multiply by x. Remember, distribute to both terms in the binomial. 2x squared plus 2x. Draw your line, change both signs. Now, add those. 2x squared minus 2x squared is 0. 10x minus 2x is 8x. Bring down the next term, plus 8. Now, what do we multiply my 2x by to get 8x? I have to multiply by positive 4. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 2 is 8. Draw your line, change your signs. Negative, negative. 8x minus 8x is 0. 8 minus 8 is 0. The remainder of 0 means what? It is a factor. That's my remainder. So my quotient is x plus 4. Number 6. What do we multiply x by to get x cubed? Let me back up. The x plus 2 goes on the outside. X cubed plus x squared minus x minus 2 goes on the inside. Now figure out what you multiply. We're going to multiply by x squared to both terms in the binomial. So I get x cubed minus plus 2x squared. Now draw your line, change both signs. Minus, minus. Add x cubed minus x cubed, 0. X squared minus 2x squared is negative x squared. Bring down the next term, minus x. Now, what do I multiply x by to get negative x squared? It's going to have to be negative, and I need one more x. Distribute. X times x, x squared, and it's a negative. X times 2, negative 2x. Draw your line, change both signs. Plus, plus. Now add. Negative x squared plus x squared is 0. Negative x plus 2x is x. Bring down the next term, minus 2. What do I multiply by x by to get an x? Well, that's just going to be plus 1. Easy enough. So I write down x plus 2. Draw your line, change both signs. My x's cancel. Negative 2 and negative 2 is not 0. It's negative 4. I have a remainder. So this is not a factor. But I still have my quotient. Let's write it out nice and pretty. X squared minus x plus 1 minus 4 over x plus 2. Always remember to put your remainder. This concludes the practice for the long divisions lesson.